Boom. Coming to you live from the front porch here with Roni on my lap. You can't see her. And we have the new Clifton 10 from Hoka in here for testing and review today. And if you're looking for a new daily trainer, make sure that you are on the Supwell app. Supwell app is the best community for hobby joggers, and we have the best buy, sell, and trade running shoe marketplace. I've actually seen a lot of Clifton 9s come up there for some... Dude, she's standing up. It's crazy. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Clifton 9s come up there that people are selling. So if you want discounts on shoes, and when this goes on sale, you'll likely be able to use the Running Warehouse discount code that will bring even 10% more off of the price. Though sometimes it doesn't work on Hoka, which is weird. They're one of the few brands that the discount code doesn't work on. But our discount code gets you 20% off of apparel, 10% off of fuel and used shoes. Also, announcement, hobby jogger gear, hobbyjogger.com. This is part of the winter merch we're going to be flipping over. We got some new stuff coming, so if you want to get any of the winter stuff, check it out before it's gone. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Enjoy today's video. Bro, you're legit standing. That's crazy. Look at this. Another beautiful day in Mint Hill. And we are at the Mint Hill Shoe Market. We have all the shoes here. We are going to do a review today of the Hoka Clifton 9. And I have a special assistant. You want to introduce yourself? Yeah, we have Roni here. She's helping me out with the Hoka Clifton 9. Let's get into it. All right, so we had to bring out Roni because the Hoka Clifton is one of the most legendary dad shoes of the 2020s. No, we had to bring out Roni because we're hanging out. It's Saturday morning. I didn't want to ruin the family Saturday. We're chilling. But Hoka Clifton, the last version of this shoe, the Clifton 9, and we actually have the 10. I think I've been saying the 9, the 10. This is the last version, the Clifton 9. I really enjoyed this shoe for walking, for casual use. It's a standard shoe. It's the type of a shoe, the Clifton, or people who just need a running shoe to go on 30-minute runs, to do errands, will buy. But also my best friend from college, Dante, he used it to run the Chicago Marathon. He ran a sub 4 in this. So it is a legit running shoe. It's got a moderate drop, 5 millimeters. It uses their compression molded EVA. And it's a do-it-all shoe for a lot of people. Very comfortable upper. I enjoyed it. It's one of those shoes where if I know I need to get dad fresh, come with that dad drip. We're going to a birthday party for Olivia today. Happy birthday, Olivia, 1 year old. Shout out Ashley, the mom, putting in work. I might come clean in the Clifton 9. You never know. I might hit him with that bada boom, bada bang Clifton 9. I might also pull up with something like the More V3 Trail if I'm really trying to get active. But depending on how fresh the Clifton 10 is, I might have to pull up in that to the kid's birthday party. So $145. It competes with shoes like New Balance 880 V14. This thing just came out. Standard, everyday shoe, firmer foam. I really liked it. New Balance is positioning this to take on the new Clifton with that 5 millimeter drop. Also, some other shoes out there. Nova Blast 5. Let's see this one. This is more the fun pick in the category. This is the pick. If you're going to a run club, training for a marathon, they might tell you, hey, pick up the Nova Blast 5. When I was in New York, I saw a lot of Nova Blast 5s on the feet of people who were out there pounding the pavement on the West Side Highway. And then some others. Last one I want to show you. Let's go get it, Roni. It's the bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. One of the best daily trainers of the year last year, Brooks Ghost Max 2. Now, Brooks has always been a boring, reliable brand. They've changed that with the Ghost Max and also with the Glycerin Max. Really nice foam here. It's better than the compression molded EVA from Hoka. It is a supercritical EVA, which Hoka has also added to the Skyflow, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is a comfortable, durable, solid shoe. One of the most comfortable shoes, especially the first generation of this, for walking. So that's some context on what the Clifton is going up against. Let's pull it out of the box, and Roni's going to tell me if it's dad drip or not. It is dad drip? You don't even know. You haven't seen it yet. Ready? Bada boom, bada bang. Woo! So one thing I love about Hoka, they always come with the fire, bright colorways. And this is that unreleased. You can't even buy this in the store. I think this is coming out March 15th. Hoka sent this to me. So I'm going to come clean to that Olivia's birthday party in the Hoka Cliftons. Bro, you can't stop me. Yeah, so big change here is, of course, the design looks different. They've kept the compression molded EVA, which is a curious choice, but I'll tell you why they did that in a second. They kept their compression molded EVA. They bumped it up to an 8 millimeter drop. It's kind of weird that they did that, but if you take a look at their product lineup, it might make more sense. So they have the Skyflow $150, which they just introduced last year. So this one is replacing the Clifton for running. And what it looks like they want to do is split off the Clifton buyers into a few different directions. So if you like the Clifton for a walking shoe, they're saying buy the new Clifton. 8mm drop, 4mm drop, 5mm drop, who cares? If you want a moderate drop daily trainer, buy the Skyflow. And if you want Super Max, or if you want Max Cushion Gang Comfort, buy the Bandai. By the way, I tested the Bandai. This just came out. Brighten it up one touch. I love this thing. This also has a better foam. This has the supercritical EVA, a softer version than what's in the Skyflow, but super comfortable shoe. Great for walking. Reminds me a lot of those Ghost Max, that Ghost Max category and Ghost Max vibe, but nice and peppy. I really enjoyed it. This is actually the same foam that's in Hoka's top tier training shoe, the Skyward X. So the Clifton is now the base level model in Hoka's comfort line. They do have the Rincon, which is, man, so basic. I did not like that shoe. That was one of my least favorite shoes of the year. But the Rincon did also have this compression molded EVA. So it's a bit of a hit or miss type of foam for me, the compression molded EVA. Some people like it, some people don't. And especially for smaller runners, it might not be the best. Smaller runners who don't want to wait for the shoe to break in. So we'll have to see. We'll take it on a short run this morning, throw some miles in it, see if it can soften up or see if it's soft out of the box. But pushing it in here does not feel as soft as the Bandai, does not feel as soft as some of these other shoes. But I've been defining comfort as the absence of anything bothersome. So if that's what we can get from this, it'll be a banger. Clifton here comes in at 272 grams. That's standard for an everyday shoe. Very similar foam compound to a lot of the other training shoes here as well. Let's throw on the Skyflow, which Roni has. Now, key difference with the Skyflow, this was way bouncier to me than the Clifton. Comes in at 293.5 grams, so a bit more stacked, a bit more cushioned. It's not more comfortable. I actually found this narrower and more constraining than the Clifton. Let's see some of the other brands here. And every brand is trying to take down the Clifton because it's one of the most popular shoes. This thing is 329 grams, so a way more robust foam, but it's tuned to be more supportive for newer runners, for bigger runners, for those who are putting down more power. But this 5mm drop platform, man, every brand is trying to get a shoe to knock the Clifton down. It continues to be one of the highest selling shoes. This and the Bandai, and the Ride of the Ghost Max 2 actually reminded me a lot of the Bandai from Clifton. Similar weight here too at 331 grams. And then all the way on the other end of the spectrum, we have shoes like the Nova Blast 5, which are the same price, are actually cheaper than the Clifton, but are more designed for speed and fun as an everyday shoe, which is 271 grams here. Let them know, Roni. I'm training her how to talk to him. All right, let's throw the 880 on. 880, new 880 V15, 306.5 grams. She's grabbing it. Let's see how that compares to the Clifton. You gonna QA check for me? All right, left. This actually feels decently lightweight. Left shoe of the Clifton, the new one, 293.5 grams. So it did go up in weight from the last version. Last one was 271, but with that increased drop, it also increased in stack. Let's do a QA check. Hoka is not known for amazing QA. Yeah, I do have to say some people were having QA issues with the Bandai, not just the weight, but there were some seams on the inside bothering people's feet. So hopefully the Clifton is better. In my experience, all the Hoka shoes have been very comfortable. So we will lace the new one up and see. Bro, shoe market getting active this morning. What do you think, Roni? What do you think, dude? Breakfast in Supple Kitchen. Blueberry waffles. No, blueberry waffles? Oh, this is the pire de résistance. It looks glorious. It's perfect. Whenever I make waffles, I'm never able to get it all the way to the side. Yeah. Amazing. Bang. Honestly, waffles are insane. Light, crispy, fluffy. Best waffles at Q1 by far.
And whole wheat.
Oh, whole wheat? What? That's crazy. She tricked me into being healthy. Fire. 2 bites, everyone knows the rules. Flames. No coconut oil? Yes, coconut oil? What? But the refined one that you can't taste, right? What? That's crazy. Alright, let's get out of here. Lacing up the Clifton 10s here. Not my favorite colorway, but not the worst. This is in between. It's not all out craziness like the Clifton 9, my pair. And then it's also not subdued. So it's caught somewhere in between. All right, let's see. First, initial feel here, very similar to the Clifton 9. It still feels like a Clifton. Compression molded EVA. Feels very similar on step-in. Toe box is still slightly narrow. Length is good. Upper is almost identical. You still have that elf heel in the back, and you still have a padded upper. So I think they've done a nice job, at least on the initial feel here. If you like the last Clifton, they didn't mess it up. Does not feel like they messed it up, even with the new drop. But that's going to be the biggest thing with the ride, because the thing with the 5mm, 6mm drop, like the 880, Ghost Max, Skyflow, and the last gen Clifton, is that it's so smooth. Sometimes going up to 8 or 10 can be blocky. All right, Ronnie wanted music. We've been listening to the Larry June this morning. Walk test here. It honestly feels so similar to the last Clifton, except the heel feels chunkier. That's the biggest thing with the higher drop. Sometimes it feels like the heel catches 0.2 seconds before I want it to. Like it gets in the way. I do really love that 4 to 6mm drop range. So that's my initial complaint here. The only complaint is still a very comfortable shoe on step-in. Fits my foot well. All the Hoka shoes typically fit my foot well. Comfortable. Looks solid. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. It looks good for running. I would have preferred a more subdued color or a more wild. It's either subtler or wilder for drip. This is in between. It kind of has that elementary school boys shoe look, but can't complain too much because it's still a Hoka. It's still comfortable. All right, let's get some miles in. So plan is, of course, I have the stroller here. Plan is 30-minute stroller run, 30-minute recovery run. For these first runs, I usually like doing 10 miles, 12 miles, but this is how most people are going to use this shoe. Shorter runs with some walking, so we'll see how is the ride changed, how is it the same to the last version. Let's do it. Yeah, it's raining. What the heck? We were about to go, and then it just started raining. I got the GoPro fired up and everything. So I'm gonna wait it out because I don't want to take Roni out in the pouring rain. But it looks like it's gonna pass quickly. Now at least we can get a wet weather grip test on the Clifton 10 here. But yeah, it still does have that slightly narrow fit in the front, and it is firmer. This foam feels identical to the last version. Once a Clifton, always a Clifton. How you doing? I had to come with the Hobby Jogger Champion collab rain jacket. You can get these on hobbyjogger.com. They'll be going away when we drop the spring merch collection. So if you want one, get it now while you can. I think, Roni, what do you think? I think we're gonna give it a go. is calming down, and we're just doing 4 miles, so we can always come back when we need to. Yeah, it's basically done. I might even take off this rain jacket in a second. Early overreaction. This feels like a gosh dang Clifton. Feels like a shoe you can run in that's comfortable, and it actually does feel slightly better for heel striking. And now the benefit of these 8-10 millimeter drop platforms is that they take the stress off of your lower legs, and man, my calves are completely blasted from all these speed workouts I've been doing. I did one on Wednesday, and then I did one on Friday yesterday. Well, I wasn't even recovered. So my calves are feeling it, and having a higher drop shoe is nice. Now the thing with this compression molded EVA foam, it has the impact absorption and that smoothness, but there's not a lot of bounce. There's not a lot of what brands call energy return. And that's what you get from Skyflow, Bondi, the supercritical EVA. This standard one, this is more about the impact absorption. And it still does have that so far. Oh gosh. Bro, Roni was not having it. She just threw her blanket down. So yeah, early overreaction, comfort is still there, and 8 millimeter drop did not mess it up. It's pretty hard for brands to mess up these shoes. Brooks did mess up the glycerin though. I'm happy to report this is not a glycerin 22 situation. I'm gonna get my top 3 stroller running tips. First, get them started as early as possible. Get them used to doing it when they're, I don't know what the youngest is, you can take in a stroller, but get them used to being in the stroller, being out and about for long periods of time, walking before you start running with them, because then they won't protest as much. Second, give them something. Give them something to occupy themselves, whether that's a snack. We got the Larry June going for her right now, trying to teach her how to be healthy. Give him something. When Reevesy's in here, he's almost 3, I'll give him the truck. And of course you have to have a comfortable stroller. That goes without saying. Don't try running with some busted old thing that's jangling and janky. Going over the bumps is gonna feel terrible. So pick up a nice stroller, Facebook Marketplace. Bob is what we have. Thule is another good brand. Doesn't need to be expensive. You can find them for just as cheap as you'd find a basic pair of daily trainers if you look for good deals. And it's worth it. It's worth spending the $100, $150, $200 on a good stroller. And bonus here is the shoes for yourself. You want a slightly firmer pair of shoes for stroller running. You don't want super soft, squishy shoes. You want to be in control. You want to feel strong running with the stroller. And for me, I like shoes with good support that are comfortable, like these Clifton 10s that I'm wearing right now. This is the perfect stroller running shoe. Bro, I might have to clip that for IG. We're up 50 followers this week. About to be Insta famous. I'm not a star. Somebody lied. Got a baby in my stroller. Time to glide. So we're about almost a mile in here. I weirdly like this a lot so far. Now, maybe it's because it's a chill Saturday morning and I'm cruising with Roni in the stroller, kicking it with my baby girl, and I'm in a good mood. But these feel really nice. Smooth, supportive, good comfort. It has all those elements that I love in the basic daily trainers. Just a simple, classic feeling shoe that gets out of the way, but does have some prescriptive comfort. With the force I'm putting down, especially right now, going uphill with the stroller, it does feel slightly soft. So I'm happy with this so far. Barefoot Mafia getting out of hand back there, that's crazy. Mile 1, 8:37 pace. Just bopping along here. Yeah, whenever I have the stroller, I am not gunning for a pace. This is also Saturdays I do my recovery runs anyway, because Sunday is my long run. And at this pace, 8:37 with the stroller, this is great. I'm actually impressed how I don't know if I would say bouncy, but the smoothness of the platform outweighs any lack of bounce so far from the compression molded EVA, especially on a shorter run like this, where I know I'm just gonna be out here for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, versus a 20-mile long run. This isn't the shoe I would buy for a 20-mile long run, but for a bop around the neighborhood in a comfortable shoe, you can't go wrong. Now, it's so interesting, whenever I do one of these classic shoe reviews, Clifton, Bandai, Glycerin, Ghost, which are 4 of the top 10 highest selling shoes, is a trip down memory lane for a lot of people. And they'll say, man, my first running shoe was the Clifton 5. I remember those days. It treated me so well. But I'm not going back. I've since moved on. I have the Skyward X. I have the Alpha Fly. I have a good rotation now. So for a lot of people, these shoes are a gateway into performance running footwear. For a reason though. Very easy to run in, good comfort, and there's nothing weird about them. I think the difficulty with that though is that even though they're great shoes, this Glycerin, well, the last Glycerin, the Bandai, especially a shoe like the new Bandai, right? Which is one of my favorite shoes currently, and one of my favorites of the new releases. People just won't consider them. It's like asking a 6-year-old to put their training wheels back on the bike after they learn how to pedal without them. And I think that's the exact reason Hoka introduced the Skyflow. New model, new foam, new direction. Hey, if you used to wear the Clifton, this is now the shoe for you. We're gonna give you permission to come back to the brand with something that's more suited to your needs as an advanced runner. You don't have to put the training wheels back on. I'm also surprised how little the 8mm drop changes the ride. Feels very similar. And historically, we've thought of higher drop shoes being better for heel strikers. And most people considering the shoe, buying the shoe, are either walking, in which case doesn't matter all that much, or are heel strikers, or are running more relaxed miles where having that cushion on the heel can help. So I thought I might hate the new drop, and I can feel that it's slightly chunkier, but it doesn't matter, at least for me. And there's no way in heck I'm doing a speed workout in these. That's just not what they're designed to do at all. Dang, that is max cushion, gang. Look at that thing. I'm telling you, man, you gotta train them up and you curate the vibe. She's cozy with the blanket, with the Alchemist Beats playing. So she's happy in there. That's how you do it. I've taken Reevesy on, I think our longest was 12 miles stroller run. Also, man, this is so much better than the Rincon. That thing was terrible. This is worth it. If you really want a Hoka, this is worth it for 145. Versus a Rincon, I think, is 125. Pay the extra 20 or get a discounted pair of the 9s on sale, but either Clifton 9 or 10, worthy upgrade from the Rincon. That thing is not good. You're cruising downhill here between mile 2 and 3. Again, it's that smooth comfort coming through. Great protection. Yeah, and it's not giving me much zip at all. When I try to pick up the pace here, it's more of a, you sink into the shoe. You're not popping out. But as I'm jogging along, it works well. Again, definitely not a speed shoe. Skyflow and Bandai have way more bounce than this. This is all about that smooth comfort. This is where I was hitting 440 pace 200s this week, right here. Some days we're hitting 440s, some days we're hitting 840s. It's the name of the game. Easy like Saturday morning. This shoe is just so easy to run in. It's the type of shoe that makes you want to go for a 30-minute jog in the suburbs. This is the best shoe for young homeowners turning into their parents. That was mile 4. Nice 8:05 pace. This is the running shoe equivalent of the 63-degree American day in Mint Hill. Just nothing aggressive at all about it. Boom, there we go. We beat Charlie back. She took the kids to go get some gifts for this party. I think Roni's probably sleeping, so maybe I can sneak in this breakdown while she stays asleep. That'll be nice. Oh my gosh, there's worms in the bottom of the stroller. It's disgusting. Barefoot Mafia staking us out. I spoke too soon. She's awake. The princess is awake. Okay. You want to come out? Yes. Did you have fun? Did you have a nice ride? You tired? Yeah. Full breakdown and comparisons. Might have to wait a bit because Princess Roni is awake, getting after it. She's learning how to use the GoPro and everything. I'm going to train up her and Reevesy to be the next generation production team. Supwell kids coming soon. 4-mile run. Nice relaxed 4-mile jog here in the burbs. 8:19 pace. And man, I've been talking about for the past few years, not years, months now, trying to pick the shoes that are good for the type of a run that we're doing. This one's perfect, man. Oh, and wow, we actually did get some dirt on it. What the heck? I must have been running in the grass. Yeah, a little bit of dirt damage, but this was perfect for this morning. Great comfort. The stability is also really solid too. I don't love the looks of it, but I think that's just the colorway that I have. Maybe it will grow on me. It's not bad. It's just not fire either. It's fine. But yeah, great comfort, great squish. And again, for these stroller runs, I'm all about just cruising. This is a cruising type of a shoe, and I can see why so many new runners love this thing. It's just one of those shoes where there's nothing wrong with it. Now, there's also not a lot of excitement to it, but you don't need a whole lot of excitement in a shoe like this. Right? A lot of people just look for that do-it-all, no-frill shoe, and this is a great one with some additional comfort built in. So Roni and I will chill out for a bit, and then we can do the full breakdown. What do you have to say to him? Hitting him with the silent treatment. All right. Roni and I are just chilling up here, so we're going to do the full breakdown up here because why not, right? There's no rule that says I have to go down to the street. I can do it on the porch if I want to, right, Roni? Yeah, on the steps, on the Mint Hill Shoe Market steps. And look at this. This is actually softened up after one run. That's the thing about the compression molded EVA. It does get softer. It gets more molded to your foot. The downside of it, and what Hoka's had to fight against a lot with this foam and the Clifton line in general, also the Bondi line, is the durability. That's another reason why they introduced the Skyflow, a different foam, firmer, more rigid, different compound is going to last longer, and I can verify through my use of the Skyflow, it has felt pretty durable. Durable, yeah. So let's throw up today's run. We got 4 miles out here, 4-mile recovery run in the Clifton 10. This is a smooth comfort shoe. There's not a lot of bounce to it. Again, that's why the Skyflow and the Bondi exist. But for someone who's bought this shoe repeatedly from the 7 to the 8 to the 9, like my friend Dante, right, who used this for the Chicago Marathon, they did not mess it up. That's the headline here. Hoka did not mess up the Clifton. And the additional stack we're getting, or the additional foam in the back, the offset, the drop, be going up to 8 versus 5, it doesn't make a difference in a negative way for a type of runner like me who's going to mostly use this shoe for relaxed miles, for walking, for going around town, and also who's more of a heel striker. Right? Having more foam in the back typically is better for heel strikers, and I do not like platforms above 8 millimeters going up to 10. That was one of the reasons why the new Glycerin 22 just did not hit for me, but this still feels like it's in that sweet spot, and if I didn't know on paper that this went up to 8, I probably wouldn't have picked it up at all. It feels so similar to the Clifton 9. So for someone who just likes to get the latest and wants to upgrade into the latest model, this is going to be fine. It's going to be actually more than fine. I don't know if it's an improvement on the past version. It just feels very similar to the past version, which I personally enjoyed a lot for walking. It was one of the most comfortable shoes. I actually put it in my list of most comfortable shoes when I did the roundup from each brand, and this would be up there as well. Now, You do not want to put that in your mouth. No. Yeah, now, in terms of the running capability, I'm going to max out on this shoe 4, 6, 8 miles. If I'm going longer than an hour, I'm not pulling the Clifton. There's just better shoes in the Hoka lineup for that, and that's why they introduced the new Skyflow. That's why they introduced the Bondi. This shoe is really that entry-level product for someone wanting a comfort, smooth offering in the Hoka lineup. So let's go through our 3 questions. First, how does this do versus the intended purpose? Now, intended purpose of this is, again, to be more affordable entry into comfort, to be a smooth, reliable shoe, get out of the way, let you run, let you walk, have you feel supported, and for that, it does great. There's a lot of shoes in this category that are good. The Brooks Ghost Max 2, Hoka's own Skyflow, the New Balance 880, I have them all over there. The Asics Cumulus, which weirdly I've not tested any of the Cumulus. I've actually tested 4 different Nimby, the gel Nimbus. I've had 4 of those, 25, 26, 27, and the Mirai, but I've never tested a Cumulus. I'll definitely be getting the new Cumulus when it comes out. But for that smooth, reliable quality, this does great. If you're looking for that walking shoe, it does great. And the other thing in terms of the intended purpose that we have to talk about is just not messing up from the last version. That is the intended purpose of an update of this type of shoe. They want to retain the same buyers who've come to rely on it. And so if you are a Clifton buyer, you're not going to be disappointed. Second question. Second question on the steps. Second question on the steps here. How does this do versus the category? Now, a lot of these $140, $150 shoes are improving, are advancing. Again, that's why Hoka introduced the Skyflow to have a different type of a model with more bounce in it. Now, if you're looking for a bouncier, more energetic, aggressive shoe, this is not it. Nova Blast is still my pick for that, $140, and that one is so bouncy. It's such a fun shoe. It's also similar weight as this, maybe even, I think, a little lighter. This came in at $290. The Nova Blast is around $270, so lighter, faster, more fun. This is more of that smooth, reliable character. If I were picking one of these shoes to go on a 30-minute jog, like we did this morning, I would actually pick this over the Nova Blast. This has more of that comfort, and it doesn't have that. Sometimes with the Nova Blast, I can get a disjointed heel-toe feel where it feels like my heel is catching before the front. I didn't get that on this, and you can see it's a really smooth platform here, a nice gentle roll. So against the category, it's smooth, it's gentle, but it's not the bounciest. So if you want more bounce from your shoe, Ghost Max 2, that's what keeps coming to mind to me, because especially as we were going down the hills, it felt so comfortable, and like the impact absorption was a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. But then when I got around the corner on the flat trying to pick it up, again with the stroller, so relatively picking it up, there's not a lot of bounce to it. So comfort, yes. Smoothness, yes. Bounce, no. Speed, absolutely not. If you're considering buying a shoe specifically for daily runs and speed, this wouldn't be it. That's where the Skyflow comes into play, and that's where the Nova Blast comes into play. And even in Hoka's lineup, right, you have the Mach X2. That's the daily shoe that can do speed. You have the Skyward X. That's more fun. That's just not what this is designed to do. That's not the intended purpose, and there are better shoes in the category for it. Now, how does this stack up to everything else on the market? That's where we talk about price point. $145. Oh, Charles is also back in the mom wagon. $145 in this latest version, and the thing is, you could probably find the last version discounted. So would I buy this or the last version? It just feels so similar to me, the last version. If you could find the last version discounted, I would probably just do that. If you could find the Clifton 9 for $110, $120, there's not a lot of improvements in this, and again, it's not a step back, and I'm wondering actually if the foam is a touch softer, and maybe I'll do another few runs in it to see. But there's not a whole lot of different in this versus the last one, which, let's go grab that, Roni. Yeah, so this is the 9, this is the 10. Very similar in terms of the width, in terms of the upper. You can see even the upper material looks super similar. The laces, the padding on the tongue looks super similar. The stepping comfort, super similar. The rubber is super similar. So even though they have the changed drop, this is an evolution, not a revolution. This is not a huge change. I'm still going to be rocking the Clifton 9 too. I'm not giving this thing away because I love how it looks. I actually like this colorway more than this. They also added this weird design flair on the new Clifton and the Bondi. This thing right here, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a button. Look, it's here, and then it's here, too. So Clifton 9 versus Clifton 10. Some additional stack in the 10. Some additional comfort from that. Maybe they've softened it up 3%, and they've raised the drop. So if there's a $30 or more difference, I would definitely just get the last version. The new one does have a touch more comfort, 3% more comfort and softness. But again, if there's a huge price difference, I would get a discounted Clifton 9. Now, Clifton 10 versus Skyflow. Skyflow is the one I'm going for personally for logging a lot of miles. The foam in here is more energetic. It feels more supportive. This feels more of like the running shoe. This feels like more of the daily trainer. Clifton 10 is more of the entry-level shoe, the comfort shoe, the walking shoe, the beginner shoe. Skyflow is more of that pick if you're doing marathon training and want a comfortable shoe. This is lighter, it's faster. It's actually not lighter, it's right on the same weight, but it's faster, it's firmer. Again, Clifton 9, it does have that comfort and squish, and just feeling these foams here, I'm getting more squish from the Clifton 9. So Skyflow is more energetic. If I had to pick one of these shoes for speed, it would be the Skyflow. This is a really awesome shoe. The one thing is the upper is super narrow. It's narrower on the Skyflow than it is on the Clifton. All right, last comparison here. Bandai. This is one of my favorite max cushion shoes. This foam is just about as soft as in the Clifton 10, but it's heavier. This is 330 grams versus 290 grams. This also has more cushion and support for long runs. Again, this is my pick, like the Skyflow for logging higher mileage. I would pick the Skyflow over the Bandai for speed, and I picked the Bandai over the Skyflow for long runs. Also, this is a great walking shoe. One of my favorites up there with the Ghost Max for comfort. So, to close it out here, good shoe, solid, not gonna be my pick for logging high mileage, but I will use it again for some jogs like this, and I'll use it for casual use for sure. So, Hoka did not mess it up. Clifton 10, initial test here. Solid, very solid shoe. All right, that's all we have for you guys today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.